Hello everybody and welcome to day 3. Slightly later today, I know, but I've had a few jobs to do. So the creative background today that I'll be doing with you all is bamboo. Now I've done this sheet, I've done it just to see what it'd be like. I'm going to put some background behind this on another day because I want to do clustered bamboo and like bamboo where you can see through it kind of thing. So this has been done. Like I said, these creative background idea sheets can be found on Shellarty and Colouring Friends, so please do, if you want to follow along, print these off for your own use. All I ask is you don't share the blank copy of it on anywhere else other than Shellarty. You can share whatever you put inside it and fill it out, you can share it then by all means, but please, these are personally for you, given to the members of the group at Shellarty and Colouring Friends. So now that's the formative parts out of the way, I've done this and we're going to be doing it. I'm going to base it on a background that we would do in JOHANNA Basford. So this is a perfect picture here that this would go along. So I've been looking on in the books I have, and Ashley said, oh, there's a bamboo one in Magical Jungle when I mentioned this book. So I thought, do you know what? Perfect. So for the purpose of this live stream, because not live stream, that's later on, for the purpose of this background video and for speed, and I don't want it to take a long time, I have scanned the page in and made it this postcard size, just so we get through it a lot quicker. But the same thing, you're going to be doing the same thing as you're doing in this little box. You'll just elongate it for the purpose of that background. So all the back side of here is going to be, because not all backgrounds need to fill the whole page, don't forget. So we're just going to be doing the background in this little area here, not behind the panda, just in the background, and it's really fitting for something like this. So if you ever come across this page, you'll think, Shellarty did this background and I'm going to copy it. That's what we're going to do today. So we'll close the book, because obviously when I come to colour that book I will do it full size, but today, the purpose of this, I did print it out before the colours kept going all funny, so I'm going to keep this open so I can see what I'm doing. Now the print quality for some reason on my computer at the minute is shocking, so you can't really see the image as good as you can see in the book, but it's enough for the video. So the colours that we'll be using today are artezas, if you want to follow along. It's light bamboo, fluorescent yellow, lime green, matcha, jungle green, and the dark bamboo is matcha green, jungle green, sage, olive and black, noir, if I want to be proper about the name. And we're going to be doing the cluster type, not this type. You could do this type on the outer part if you really wanted to, which is this section, but we won't be for the purpose today. We're not colouring any other part of the colouring in. I'm just showing you how the background will work. So I'm going to zoom right in so the picture fits in shot, and I'm just going to clear that picture up a little bit. Let's get it nicely focused in for everybody. So like I said, this picture is not the best. But for the actual video, we don't need to see this outline so much as you need to see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using the pencil that's not the darkest. It's kind of like the middle one, which is matcha. Okay, and what we do is freehand is best. Don't try and get rulers out for this. Do your hand where you feel fit or where you feel comfortable, and you're just going to freehand. So you're going to start slightly out, not right against, so you can if you want to, but I'm not. I'm going to start slightly out and I'm going to come down, and each bamboo, if you can see here, they have little bumps. So I'm just going to do a little bump and then another free-handed line, obviously avoiding the flowers you've got here. Another little bump there. And this is why I like to do it behind here, not just on here, but behind here, purely because you get to see then what it'd be like if you was doing it in an actual colouring book. So it doesn't matter if you kind of slightly go out of shot. Or out of sequence, should I say. And what I'm going to do now is once I've put this, so we're going over about, I don't know, 1/2 centimetre where you've got your bump on that side. We're just going to bring this bump in too. Come down, and you can add a little bumps and wobbles in your bamboo. It doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line, so if you're not very good at freehanding, this is probably very wise. So there's another bump there. Doesn't matter if your bumps aren't perfectly the same either. Bump here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give it a smile. We want one smile this side, one smile this side, one smile this side, and one smile that side. And we're going to do that all the way down. And then all you're going to do once you've done that is elongate this out like that. You see what I'm doing? So bringing it out and flicking it in. Just emphasising that section. It's going to be hard to see this bit because it's behind a flower. And you see there? So I went out of shot there, I didn't realise. Sorry. So then, next, we're going to leave a gap. And we're going to start here. We're going to put our next bump, do a smile, do another smile, and then come down. We're doing another smile. Whichever way you feel, you can either do it with a bump like that, or you can do it like this. Another smile, another smile, another smile. That's how I'm thinking of it. And just so long as you're doing your bamboo pieces, this is more straighter lines, but we can make that bumpy as well if we want to. So smile will be hidden a bit behind there, and there with a smile. Remember, it's about the smile. So there you go, that's one bamboo. I'm completely out of shot. What am I doing today? So then you just put your little bits in there to join it back up again. So I prefer this is how I prefer to do it, the smile way. But I'm just trying to do it in ways that I think will be easier for other people to follow. Smile. And you can kind of make it, the more unique you make each piece of bamboo, the better. So like this one, I'm going to do a really fat one now. I'm going to do this here and then do the smile. Up. And do the smile there. And then kind of just judge with your eye where it'll be coming out. Do the smile. And do another smile. That's quite a big one. And then here we add our joints back in. Okay. And it's quite easy once you get going. So I'm going to do this one a bit closer to it. Again, I'll do the bump one just to see which one you want to do. Bump here. And then I'm going to do this bump slightly lower. And this bump I'm going to bring up slightly higher. And then you bring your smile in. Smile, and it's going to be off centre, but that is fine. because not all bamboo are perfectly straight. So this one, there you go. And that's how you do your bumps. It's entirely up to you which way you do it. Anyway is easy, so I'm going to do another thin one here with a bump. And our bump's going to be slightly lower on this side. And then this bit, I'm going to make my bamboo a bit crooked, because not all bamboo is straight. Smile, up and smile. I'm terribly out of shot. I need someone telling me off here. Like, Michelle, you're really out of shot. I think it's because I'm working on such a small piece and I'm like, I'm not even in frame. Okay, we'll have another big one here. And we'll do the smile one. We're going to have a bigger section here. Half a smile. Right here, can have a smile. That's gone behind there. Smile. I'm going to say smile for the camera. And then put your middle sections in. So obviously this is probably very stretched for what bamboo would look like in some cases. I think these sections are probably smaller, but for the purpose of a colouring book, it doesn't need to be perfect. So here again, I'm going to do the bump one. Bump. This one's going to have a little bit more bumps in it. But like I said, it's the simplest of drawing. So yeah, it does take a bit of hand drawing, but it's nothing. Everyone can draw a bumpy line. And this bump can be here. And this one, it'll be at level. These are behind the trees. Okay, and then here we're going to bring that out and smile. That up and smile. This is probably going to give you the actual smile one is probably gives you the better effect of bamboo, where I do the bump and then the smile. The smile one can be a bit characterized. Well, this kind of looks a bit, it kind of helps you where you do the bumps, it kind of helps you put these in. There we go. So now we've got that in. That's as simple as it gets, because in between to do the other ones, I'll show you once I colour them how we do the next ones. So then we're going to start with our colours. So light bamboo, not light bamboo, I'm reading the wrong bit. Fluorescent yellow. We're going to go along now. I'm going to colour in the whole, each one of these, not the middle bit, just the stems of the bamboo. Make sure you're in shot with all this and you can see what I'm doing. And this is the first time I've done it, when I did this yesterday on the sheet, so I'm as much a beginner at it as everybody else who's gonna have a go at it today. But I'm so glad that Ashley showed me this image, because it's like perfect for it. Absolutely perfect. So once all them areas are filled in, obviously this type of background may not be as quick as some I'm going to show you in this background series, but at least it's a simple way. It's nothing too technical. It's just really easy colouring. It's just drawing the shapes out is the hardest part, and I've shown you the easiest way you can colour it, or draw it, should I say. I'm keeping going round the little things around the edge because you will have coloured them if this was your picture already done. This is our bobbly bamboo here. So you've left all the central sections out. And we'll do them last. And this is why I've moved my live stream up, because it was so late when I've ended up getting this done today. What I need to do is do some pre-recorded ones. So tomorrow I'm going to spend most of the day pre-recording some that I can just schedule to upload, which is going to be far easier than doing them day by day. But when I'm running a household with 3 young kids and a teenager who's smashing his desk every 2 minutes because he's getting frustrated on his PlayStation, is not an easy feat. I have to pick and choose my times when the kids are a bit more chilled to come on stream or come on video. So next up we're going to use lime green. Now with this, all we're doing is putting markings in the bamboo. So this is the light bamboo that we're doing, and all we're doing is literally, you're not going to see very much of this, but if I show you on this piece of paper, see how bad it printed out, we're just doing lines like this in the bamboo. Okay, so you can see what I've done there. So I'm just going to do this quickly on all the pieces of bamboo, and each colour I'm showing you will just be literally I'm going to do it all the way along on each one, so we're kind of doing it all at the same time, not doing it one by one. But obviously if you're working on a full-size picture, you'd probably do one bamboo at a time if you was doing a big piece, because you imagine this probably in a Johanna Basford would be 3 times as long as this. But I'm trying to get this background done within the hour. Dead simple, just etching lines you're doing in here. Tell you what, by the end of this backgrounds thing, I should be a pro talking to myself. Oh dear, it's really hard to talk to yourself, it really is. Why I prefer my live streams, because you've got interaction, you've got people talking to you. Well, it's all about being creative in January, so starting something new, challenging yourself, New Year's resolutions, you know, and challenging yourself to do a bit more in your book. So next up, we're using matcha. So all my pencils are sharpened to quite a good point. Why does my phone go off? It's quiet all day and it goes off when I'm recording. So do apologise for that. I'm just going to put that on silent, which I should have done before. So I'm going to make sure my point's a decent point. And we're coming in with matcha, and we're going to come where you've gone in between these lines. You will see this better on your own image when you do it. But in between where you've just put the lime green, you're going to go in between as though you're filling them lines out. So where I did that, so we're going in and kind of colouring this area in between like so. Yeah, so it gives you that nice little broke up pattern. I'm going to come in between all of them. In each of these, some you'll see better, others you won't. And there's no pattern to this, so you're just going wherever your hand takes you. There's no right or wrong with it. It's your own little bamboo design. Now, if you wanted to, you could just leave it with just these single stems, but I'm going to show you two ways. I'm going to do half of it clustered and half of it with a background. So all this is sharp pencil work here. I'm making sure you're only doing nice little fine lines, nothing too thick at this point. And you can see now it's starting to get texture to your bamboo. And then I'm going to start shading in a minute. Start using the darker colours. Obviously you want to keep as much of a downward motion as possible. I don't want you doing like big jaggedy lines across it, because I don't think that would look right. It could do though, you could have a go. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is go back to the start, and at the edges here with the same with matcha, I'm just going to bring that shadowing out slightly into the centre. And I'm not going all the way up to the top. I'm stopping at this neck towards this joint and blending it into that corner and out. And just zoom this in a little bit closer, then you can see what I'm doing. So I'll do it on this bit here because there's a lot of branches in between. So what we're doing is running down the edge. So go from the middle and come towards the middle on both sides, and then as you get to the neck of the knot or joint of the bamboo, you're going to taper that into that edge. You're going to come down here and taper it in, so you're making like a curved blend line, and that helps it emphasize that it's round. Just change the focus on that. See what I'm doing? And then same on this bit. So you're starting in the middle, coming out towards the middle. As you get towards that knot, you're tapering it back into that corner. Don't be too heavy handed here. You want to keep your blending nice and light. So not taking the whole thing the colour of matcha. We're just starting to give it its definition. And just come out into the middle of it. And the same here. See? Starts looking like bamboo. And it's hard to do it when you're going round little items, but you've just got to do what you can. Got to remember, stay in frame. The camera's that close to the picture, I'm surprised I can even fit my hand under with the pencil. So that's the close-up work. I'm just bringing it out so the whole thing stays in frame. Let me just get that in focus again. Okay, so the whole thing's back in shot. Just wanted to do that close-up work there just so you could see what I was doing. So once we've blended all them in and got that shape out of it that we want, you're going to go over it with another colour anyway. So don't be too precise about this layer of shading, because this is kind of just undertone layers. Where my drawing skills have got much more practice to do. Then you could integrate this into the background. You could finish your smaller pieces of bamboo in the same way. And the fresh bamboo is this colour. You could always do dried bamboo, which is browns. Like I said, I'm going to show you two ways of doing this background. So half is going to look stacked and half is going to be filled blank. So this side I'm going to do bamboo behind it, and that side I'm going to do some pencil work behind it. Some faded out different colours of greens. But this is the easiest way, without getting too complicated, that I could find to do bamboo for everybody today. And the quickest way. I was thinking, do I just do it on the full length, Johanna? But I'm thinking, no, that'd take 3 parts. And it's meant to be quick background series, so we don't want it taking 3 parts. So like I might colour this and give it away as a postcard. That would be cool. There's still many more layers to go. Maybe I should have done 1/2 brown, but if you're doing it in the brown, you just need a good gradient from light to dark brown and do the same process, just brown. So if you do this process or the brown, please don't forget to link the hashtag from Instagram, which is #backgrounduary, and tag me shellarty.x on Instagram, and you can also do the hashtag on Facebook. I will see it on there as well. You can do #backgrounduary on there and it will come up on that link. I've also put a album on Shellarty and Colouring Friends. If you don't have Instagram and you want to be part of it, you can put your images of your backgrounds in that album on Shellarty and Colouring Friends. That'd be amazing to see everyone's work. So here we're going to start using jungle green, and what we're going to do now is just going to emphasize the corners here. I'm just going to work round the edge very delicately. Just ever so delicately. This is why we're keeping this in a really nice point. So we're going to emphasize these sections here as much as you can around these bits. So where your point's nice, just concentrate at the minute going around the edge of the bamboo. Where you've got a nice little neat point. The shading can be done after once your point's not needed as much. And this is where your bamboo starts looking like bamboo now. Okay, same here. And these sections here are going to be your dark jungle green. The next one gone. So I'll leaf over that one. Okay. Same down here. Smile line. You'll all be saying smile for about a week after you've finished showing there. But I'm not trying to portray a professional artist quality background here. It is just hobby quality, should I say. So I'm not by all means saying this is artist quality. It is not. But for a colourist point of view, it's good for that. And the only thing I have done is match the colours up to natural bamboo. And that's it. So if you are going to space them out like this, where you're not going to put bamboo at the back of it, keep them wider. This is why I've done these a bit closer together. And bamboo has all different kind of lumps and bumps. It's not the same all the way down. And it isn't hard drawing. Anyone could draw these. It's just literally lines. And the wigglier, wobblier they look, the better your bamboo will look. And the smile on that one. And then down here. But they're just fun to do, aren't they? Oh, wow, that was a big break, and I think I've just put a nice big splodge on my tip. Talking to Tammy today about breaking of tips, because Tammy was doing a video on her channel and she was flinging her tips everywhere, so she's like my partner in crime, flinging her tips. Just to press down a little bit hard there. And so working along here. Well, it's amazing what you can do when you push yourself. Like, all I did was look at a reference photo of real bamboo and just done my own interpretation of it. And it's amazing how much inspiration you can get just from looking at a reference photo. Whether you want to do realism colouring or you just want to do hobby colouring where you just colour. It's entirely up to you. See what's happening now, because my pencil's not as sharp and I'm leaving my boo-boos in. My pencil's not sharp, is not sharp enough, so it's making the lines around the edge big, and that's what I don't want. But I'm leaving my boo-boos in because obviously there's a break I'm not even pressing down. I need to keep that edge nice and thin for when we do our blending in a second. You see how crumbly this pencil is? There's bits of pencil all over the place. Very crumbly artezas. The kids are getting bored downstairs. That must mean the film they're watching is finished. So no doubt they'll be up here mothering me in a minute. So if you wanted to, at this point, you could stop here. That's enough of a background, because you don't have to fill the whole area if you don't want to. You know, that looks perfectly fine like that. I just want to show you just a couple more things that you can do. That you can do with a bamboo background. I feel like my desk is sliding all the time. I need to get some stoppers or something to stop me. I feel like it moves when I lean on it. I don't know if it's in my imagination or if it's actually moving. So I'm just going to colour them bits in there. So I'm going to do now. I've got a bit here that I've missed out. So I just need to just put a bit of that in and a bit of matcha, so it matches the rest. Colour that centre in. So what we're doing now is going back to the start, and I'm just going to use the edge, and I'm not coming into this corner like we did last time. I'm staying out of that corner, and I'm just blending that in to where we put matcha earlier on. And then I'm just going to put some lines underneath the bottom section of the bamboo there. It's very light blending here. I'm not pressing heavy at all by going between here, but I'm putting my lines in like I have done on the other side, just very faint lines. So here, just lines coming down, because I just want to emphasize that this is a darker section under here. Just there like that. And then travel some of them lines down the middle. It's a bit harder here because you've got a flower in between, but just put your lines in where you can. And then you're going to go back with fluorescent. I'm just going to press on hard here, so like you're burnishing them layers together now. And you want this bit here to be brighter than the bit underneath. And same again here. So this is probably going to be your longest process now. And then flicking your lines down there. So I'm going to have to sharpen my pencil now because that's a little bit, they're too big, them lines. So all I'm going to do is just literally, I'm not going to actually sharpen my pencil. This is what I normally do. I push the lead up. Can you just see the lead in there? And I have it on an angle so it's not straight in. And I push against the blade. And then when I take it out, it's giving me my point back. I just want it to be a little bit more pointier, so I'm just going to push it a bit more. And there you go. You get a nice, gorgeous point back. And that's without having to sharpen your pencil. So it gives you nice scope to do nice lines again. Put them lines throughout your bamboo and then shadow your corners in. Same with this section. And then flick some lines under here and then just random towards the bottom of there. And lines again all here. And then back with your fluorescent yellow and burnish them all together. And I'm going to go to I'm going to do these other two and then I'm going to show you what to do if you're just finishing them off like that. So I'm hoping with this background series that I'm showing you enough backgrounds, hopefully, and maybe some people say at the end of it, oh, we should have shown me this, or do you know how to do this? So if there isn't anything I've shown you, just ask me or put it in the comments and I'll if I can do it. Because I'm really challenging myself as it is. I don't know if I can do these things. I'm just looking them up and then doing it. And if I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. So if you anything, just put it in the comments and I'll have a go at the end, obviously, if I've not done it, because I may have it planned. Because I've got a list of things that I'm doing and I have read it out on live stream a couple of times, but I'm not 100% sure if I can do everything that's on there. So I don't want to put it as a plan in case I can't do it. So fluorescent again. But if I do make any mess ups, I am going to keep them on video because that just shows you when you are doing things do go wrong, and are you going to get rid of it? So this will be the last one with this, and I'll just show you how to finish this off with the shadows and stuff in places. feeling a bit wonky then when I was bending over. Strange. So yeah, bit of lines down there in places. Little lines down here. And then black back with your fluorescent green. Okay, so if you're coming to finish that off, then you're doing a background just like that, because that does look good just like that. Just get your black and just come under here. A bit in there. And just to emphasize a bit of shadow. That looks good like that. Bit on this one. Okay. Now I'm just going to go along and finish these ones. And the good thing is about this, you don't have to be blend perfect either, because you're putting texture in between. It's not desired to need to put your blend to be absolutely perfect. So all these here, just put all these in because it makes it a bit quicker if I put these in first. More little lines in here. See, when I'm recording these videos, I've no idea how long I'm recording for. So I'm hoping that when I come off, I've just done about an hour. I've probably already done an hour now. I think I have. So we're just going in the edges here of these. I've missed a piece of bamboo right there. I'll go on and sort that out in a minute. Three little lines in that for texture. A bit more lines in there for texture. It's too green in places. Okay, so let's make that edge line disappear a bit better. Yeah. in this section. Like I said before, this section has got bits and bobs around it, so just try your best to, if you're going to do it on this image, that is. You might not be doing it on this image. We shall see. I feel like I've done a colouring marathon today. So let's finish them bits off. Oh no, I don't go back in with fluorescent. So here I want these sections to look really bright, the top ones. And then I'm just going to come back in with arteza white and the edge of these and just give them a little highlight just on the top parts of them notches or knots or whatever they're called, sections. So like I was saying before, you could just leave it like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to show you how to make it look stacked. So that looks really good, just like that. And you could just do, so in between here, we could just have some, you could just do very whimsical, light sections of green. Like so. A bit here. So that's, yeah, that's my section. So that was fluorescent. And then we're going to come in with matcha. Just a whimsical kind of green background that blends in nicely with the one you've just done. I'm just keeping my hand really, really light. My stomach's got other ideas today. Gosh, it's so loud. I can just fill in them sections like that. A bit here. And then just get the darkest, which would be forest. You can just add a bit of a dark tone in places. All this is doing is just literally kind of giving it that impression that there's other green things behind. You're just making them look like a blur. But you don't want it too dark because you don't want it starting to clash with the other colours that you've been using on your bamboo. You could do a blue background at the back of this. There's no saying you can't do any colour behind here. I'm just using greens as an example. Let's go back with matcha. And then back with fluorescent. Let's brighten all that up again. I just call this kind of like whimsical. Just mixing your colours together and making some kind of whimsical design. That's how you could do that with just a green at the back of it, or you can turn them into dark bamboo at the back of that. So for that you need matcha, jungle, sage and olive and black. So here all we need to do is to just put a smile in there and a smile in there and a smile in here. And then one maybe here. And then one here in between these. And one there. That's behind that. One can go there. And say one here. One's at the side here. You not really see much of them. So then in between that I'm going to do black, because these are set in at the back, so we want these to be darker, these central bits. And I'm hoping that these are doable backgrounds for most people. Okay, so what we're doing then is going to colour each of them sections with matcha. Just around this little butterfly here. Hopefully I'm staying in frame. You're doing exactly the same process as you've done with everything in between. Only we're using matcha as our lightest colour in this. going to be so hard to do with these bits in between these. Like tiny little bits of areas. Okay, so that's matcha. And then we're coming in with jungle green. So let me check I've got the right one. Yes. And in between them, we're just going to come in and we're going to do what we did before, which was them lines. You'll see them better on this because it's a dark pencil. We're doing exactly the same as we did before. And I'm hoping this gets uploaded before I go live later on. Okay, so that's jungle green. And we're going to go in with olive green then. What we're going to do is the same as before. And this will just come around the edges. And go in between them bits that we coloured in earlier. And this is just put the texture into the bamboo so it's not flat. But still enough detail that it looks like bamboo sat behind it. So remember when we coloured in between with these, that's all I'm doing with this. And making sure I'm putting a shading around the edge at the same time. And come up here and checking them in frame. So easy to jump out of frame and you don't realise till you look up. I won't put any matcha in this bit here. Oh, naughty me. Okay, then we're going to go back with matcha. And you're going to go over the top. Then you can press quite firmly here as well. The sides. I think I'm just going to work on some of these areas and not all of them, purely because that'll come under the bit that we'll be colouring. Now we're going to use our darkest colour, which is sage green, and I'm going to come right into them corners with this. Do the lines down underneath each one of these. Like we did before. And make sure I'm not actually going onto the wrong piece of bamboo. In fact, this side bit I'm just going to do this dark shading for it because it's There's not much to colour. I want to take that, apart from this bit here, this little section here. So then we've got the flickety flicky bits on. Where you can see I've got some in here. So work along the edge of the previous pieces of bamboo I've done. And then we'll be using the black as well to define shadow more as well, so don't worry if it doesn't look shadowed enough at this point. But you can see it's deeper and it's more set back than the others. Strange sometimes how this camera washes the colours out. And so just keeping on them edges there. And because these are sat back in the behind these front ones, you don't need to do the knuckle as detailed as you've done it on the other ones, which is good. And just work down all your bamboos. I'm actually really loving this bamboo one. It's really good. Obviously, if I'd have done it in the main boot, it would have still been on probably bamboo number 1 at the beginning. You know what I'm like in my drawing. And this would look really good in a Chinese type of scene as well. Then with here. All these bamboos here are quite dark now. And then we need to go in with black and just brush some of that off. And emphasise that by just going right at the very edge. Now when it comes to shadows and stuff like that, you don't need to blend it out. I used to always think, oh, I need to blend that black line out, but you don't when it comes to shadowing. It looks better if it's just a sharper edge. So in here, there'll be a shadow. Same down here, another small shadow. And here. This is when your definition will come in. that starts looking really 3D and cool. Well, that's where I'm up to. Oh, that was a lucky one. That was a lucky tip break. Oh, it's crumbling. And I'm not even pressing on that hard actually. And then we want this to look like this stands out. So I'll just run that around there. To about there. And around, follow it around there. All of a sudden makes it look like it's carved into the bamboo, doesn't it? And then I just want to put a shadow here under each one of these. And that is my bamboo background complete. Obviously if you was to go for this one, the more complicated one, the more time consuming should I say, that one will probably take you a good few hours. But if you just go with this version, which is also just as nice, and there you go. So let me just move that out of the way and lift that up. There you have it. Your bamboo background, and then that's it on the creative sheets with my ones I've used. If you want that wrote down, I'll just hold that on screen for a minute if you want to screenshot it. And there you go, my bamboo background. And I absolutely love it. I think it looks amazing. So thank you very much for joining me for day 3. I will pop the colours in the description below, as well as the link for Shellarty and Colouring Friends, and the hashtag and everything else will be in the description below. So thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you on day 4 tomorrow. Bye everyone.